What is up, guys? Trust here, and I'm bringing you my Punisher's Crypt B10 speed team. I'm going to be breaking down the strategy behind it, as well as giving you a couple helpful suggestions if you do not have all the monsters here. But hey, let's just hop into the run and get into the video. So this is my team right here. As you can see, Verdehile leader, Fire Homunculus, Raoq, Pang, and Jultan. Right off the bat, I'm going to say this team can be improved a lot as far as just upgrading the runes and skilling up the monsters and second awakening my Jultan. One last detail that I forget to mention is that my team does not use any of the new artifacts, and I did this purposely because I wanted to show you guys that you could speedrun this new dungeon without having any of the new artifacts. I do want to stress that it is possible without artifacts, but artifacts are only going to help the success, consistency, and time of your runs in this new dungeon. So go ahead and farm the lower stages if you have to, and then slowly work your way up to B10. There is a small detail that I was missing, that a top player by the name of Seshizo, he is on the Europe server. I know he's very competitive. He high level RTA, high level arena. I know he finishes legend pretty often. So he did point out that this boss's skill 2 absorbs attack bar, and that's what I was missing. So as you can see there, the boss immediately used skill 2 right on Jultan, tried to absorb the attack bar, but having triple will on him prevented that from happening. So that's a huge strategy boost for this team in general, but I feel like without knowing that, it was causing it to fail a lot more often. As you can see the time there, 1:07. This is capable of running anywhere from 1:10 to 1:20, but the average is about 1:10, 1:15. I'm going to go ahead and run it one more time, and then we'll get into the runes of this, but I do want to continue talking about the strategy. So the overall strategy revolves around the Fire Homunculus. He is on a continuous damage build. His first skill hits 4 times. It is going to apply continuous damage with a 50% chance. The chance does not increase with skill ups, so it's just going to be a fixed 50% chance. So there is some sort of RNG, but with the Raoq being there, with the team up, you can apply 4 continuous damage with the team up just by having good RNG. Pang is there to extend those dots as well as put a couple dots of her own. And once I get my Jultan second awaken, he's going to be applying those dots as well. So this team can be improved a lot. I do want to show you guys, this is kind of like the bare standard of what you need to farm this dungeon consistently. But I wouldn't try to aim for this. I would try to aim for something a little higher as far as rune quality and as far as skill ups. And you kind of want to make sure that Jultan is second awakened, because he is very strong when he's second awakened. His base stats are going to increase. He's going to get tankier. And not only that, the reflect damage from his passive is going to be dishing out a little bit more damage. So it's going to help you take out this boss that much quicker. So I highly recommend it. There's a pretty nice blue artifact we have here. I recommend with all artifacts to just keep them for now. If they do look like they're kind of tempting, I'll selling them later, because a lot of them are very helpful even if they're blue. Alright, so let's get into the runes, guys. So first on the list, we got Verdehile, Violent Revenge, Attack, Crit Rate, and Attack. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Verdehile. The strategy is the same. You want him to move last, but also you could go a support build. I decided to go a damage build to get that extra damage where I could, because I am missing skill ups on him. So he's not going to be doing that much damage just on a support build, combined with a lot of missing little details on my team. This extra damage build is super helpful, so I recommend it if you choose to go more of the continuous damage strategy as opposed to a raw damage strategy that is just going to nuke the boss and not worry about continuous damage a whole lot. But I think Verdehile is a very great option, and it's hard to sub them out. So I think some people are actually using Harlsveg. I did test them out a lot, but this was when I have Jultan not on triple will, so it's hard to compare. So Verdehile, Harlsveg, very good options. I'm deciding with Verdehile just for consistency's sake. I recommend doing the same. Next on the list, we have my Fire Homunculus. His name is Luck. He's on a Violent Shield build. Speed, crit damage, and attack. Very similar build to many of my other monsters on Violent, Speed, crit damage, attack, but I do want to show you his skill tree, so that if you choose to build this fire homunculus and you want to copy my skill set or skill tree, here you guys go. So the first one, flame ray chain, second one, igniting magic bullet brand, and the third one, flame explosion. And don't forget about his self revive. It can be clutch to help save a run, but I wouldn't rely on it too much, especially being on violent. He can proc out of his um, he can proc when he's self revived, and it can actually kill him even though he has enough dots on the boss. But anyways, let's ignore that. Let's go ahead to our next monster, Raoq. Violent Blade, speed crit damage attack. Mainly there to do damage, team up with Verdehile, team up with Jultan, team up with the Fire Homunculus, get more turns, get more defense breaks, get more continuous damage. So he's very helpful in this dungeon and everywhere else in the game. I should have him skilled up, and I plan on making a second one for this dungeon. So next on the list we have my Peng. She's on Violent Blade, speed, crit damage, and attack. I kind of use her interchangeably with Yen. I'm finding out that Peng is a little more consistent just because I don't have that raw damage that a lot of other high level people are able to just nuke down this boss. So I'm resorting to a more consistent strategy, slightly less damage, more continuous damage, and she does have her passive, which decreases the duration of the beneficial effects on the boss, which is almost going to essentially strip it 100% of the time. So I think she is that slightly better option. But some alternatives, if you didn't get the chance to farm the HOH back in March, I'll go ahead and recommend, like I said, Yen. But there also is a Nat 3 who is a very good option for speedrunning this dungeon. You may have seen Sean B's video where he uses Yaku. Yaku is a very good option. He's going to be putting continuous damage on every one of his skills. Skill 1 when he crits, skill 2 when he crits, and skill 3 he's going to either apply continuous damage or ignore the enemy's defense, which is going to be taking care of this boss like cake. So last on the list, we're going to go ahead and look at Jultan's runes. He is on a triple will build as you saw in the run. He is on triple HP, mainly there just as a dark tank, and on triple will, it's going to prevent that boss from absorbing that attack bar, gaining more turns, stacking more damage. So this triple will build I think is ideal. I'd highly recommend it. I did test a Jultan being a little bit faster and moving first on my team. I do not think it's ideal because sometimes if Verdehile procs, it can give the team a lot of turns, and let's say you get bad RNG, Jultan can actually move out of the 3-turn immunity without you killing the boss, and things can get kind of shaky. But I would advise a slower Jultan moving right before your Raoq. Just make sure that speed tuning is correct and you shouldn't have too many issues. A strategy that I do want to eventually implement is using my Peng as leader skill. If I could find her, taking out this Verdehile and putting a second Raoq, as well as taking out Jultan and possibly putting Crow in his spot. But I do think that Crow is going to need that triple will build as well. May or may not, depending on how much raw damage you're going to bring. But overall, this is the final team that I'm working with. I highly recommend it if you do want to speedrun this dungeon straight to the boss. But make sure you have Second Awaken, Jultan, not like me. Make sure you skill up all your monsters and make sure you get that slightly higher rune efficiency. But once again, I do want to post this video to show you guys these are kind of like the bare minimum stats to speedrun this dungeon. I hope this video helped a lot. Leave a like, comment down below so I can see what teams you guys are working with, and maybe I can copy one of you guys. So catch you guys in the next one. Probably going to be taking down Steel Fortress, but we'll see. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.